Hello, everybody. This is Lori Taylor with the Produce Moms Podcast. As you know, I absolutely love what we do here at the podcast. Every day, we are working towards our mission of getting more fruits and vegetables on every table. And here on this platform, we've had the opportunity to spotlight some amazing individuals who are involved in that value chain here in the United States. And as you all know, we really believe that moms can change the way America eats. We think so much progress can be made at our kitchen tables. And I am so inspired and so thankful today that we have Dr. Ben Carson with us. This came together rather quickly. I got a phone call about an hour ago from his team. I know that Dr. Carson has had a very busy day in DC on the Hill, and we're going to just ask him a few questions. But before I do that, I want to give Dr. Ben Carson an opportunity to introduce himself as well as his new role as the National Advisor for Nutrition, Health, and Housing at the USDA. Dr. Carson, welcome to the Produce Moms Podcast.
Thank you. I'm glad to see there is a group such as the Produce Moms. I like the name.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. For 10 years, I sold fruits and vegetables to grocery stores across America, and today just fully focused on that education, teaching folks how to select, store, serve fruits and vegetables, and really helping tighten up that value chain. We call it from seed to smile, helping people understand all the stakeholders that make their home meals possible. And obviously, the work that's happening in DC plays a big part in that.
I came from an interesting background. My mother had only a third grade education, actually less than that, trying to raise two boys by herself in the inner city. But she always knew about food and nutrition. She grew up in a farming community in rural Tennessee. There were dozens of kids. It was ridiculous. She got married when she was 13, discovered that her husband was a bigamist, and there she was trying to take care of us in the inner city. But she always got the right food for us. She knew a lady who lived in the country who gave her a plot of land. And we would go out there 2 times a week and cultivate and grow vegetables, fresh right out of the ground. Later in life, we had a farm ourselves, and she always kept fresh vegetables on our plates. And when we lived in the inner city, there was something called the vegetable man. He came with a cart and a donkey down the street. Vegetable man! People would go out and get fresh vegetables. Mm-hmm. And then we lived in Boston for a while. They had a place called Haymarket Square. And you'd go there and get fresh fruits and vegetables. And she would always wait until it was about to close when people were desperate to get rid of stuff. And it wouldn't cost very much. I think all of that was very important in giving the right nutrition developing.
Yeah, absolutely. And your story, I'm sure there's so many folks listening today where they can just really connect at a heartfelt level in the power that their mom had in their own personal journey with fruits and vegetables. And we obviously believe that story affects so many households, but thank you for sharing yours. What a beautiful story, Dr. Carson. I want to start by applauding some recent news that's come out of DC. So first, the SNAP waivers. We're big fans of seeing SNAP really streamline the offerings and get rid of the junk food and the sodas and really lean into the nutrition and what this program was intended to be. We think it's obviously a big win for fruits and vegetables. I believe that there are 18 states now where the waivers have been signed by Secretary Rollins, and I want to give you an opportunity to elaborate on that.
Yeah, of course, a lot of the things that people were able to buy in the SNAP program were not healthy things. Right. Sugary drinks, a high salt content, high sugar content, the wrong kinds of fats. And working with the states, we tried to eliminate those things. So there were several products that were moved from the list, but twice as many were added to the list, which were, in fact, healthy choices. And we don't do a top-down imposition. We work with each one of the states, make sure that they understand what's going on and have their input. And really, it makes a huge difference, particularly in children whose brains are still developing, whose bodies are still developing, to put the right things in there. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to recognize that if you put the right things in, you're going to get the right things out. I think it's a program that's going to continue to grow. Like I mentioned, it's all done on a voluntary basis. And each one of the states are required to keep records because we want to I have some data from all of this to see how people are actually doing. I know how it's going to come out, but you really need to do all these studies to convince the skeptics.
We will keep our eyes and ears open for those studies and the data that should be coming down the pike. Obviously, you mentioned children. We here at the Produce Moms, we view USDA school meals as just absolutely paramount in our nation's food security. There was a big announcement this week about milk. We want to applaud the recent announcement and the entire administration that was behind providing America's dairy farmers with a broader market access in school cafeterias, as well as empowering those school children and their families with consumer choice of whole milk, 2% milk. And we want to give you an opportunity to talk about that in particular.
There's so many different milks now. Not only cow's milk, there's goat's milk, there's almond milk, whatever suits your fancy. But it's fallen in and out of favor. When I was growing up, milk was like king.
Yeah.
Nothing could beat that. And then it fell out of favor. And now it's starting to come back into favor. I'd say if you like it, drink it. And if you don't, find something else.
I love it. I love it. What are your thoughts on school meals at large? It's an important part of USDA nutrition programming. And obviously here at the Produce Moms, it's something that I personally have been involved with for a very long time from an activism role. Do you share my thoughts that it is absolutely critical for our children's food security in this nation, as well as farmers' market access?
Children's brains are developing from inception until about the mid to late 20s.
Wow.
And obviously, you want to provide those brains with good, nutritious food. And sometimes lunch is it.
Yeah.
Some of these families don't get other meals. And so we need to take advantage of what we know about nutrition and apply that to those lunches and get rid of the empty calories and all the artificial sweeteners and artificial colors and flavors and give them good, nutritious food. And if they learn that from an early age, they will stick with it. If you give them all kinds of sugary snacks and things that have no real nutritional value, they'll grow to love those things too.
Yeah.
So we have a real responsibility here.
Yeah, I love it. And Dr. Carson, in the approximately 10 years that I've been doing activism as it relates to federal nutrition policy, I have never seen such collaboration between USDA and HHS. Is it possible for you to elaborate a little bit more on that?
Since day one, this administration has been laser focused. You notice guns came out blazing and no waiting around and feeling which way the air was blowing. And that included working together because we realized very quickly that we get a lot more done if we work together, if we collaborate. And it's been excellent because we can divide the work up. We meet on a regular basis at least once a week and talk over things and bring each other very important information to continue the process.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be very successful.
Thank you. Yeah, we look forward to applauding the success and being part of it from a grassroots level here at the Produce Moms. Dr. Carson, I know that today you were actually on the Hill for a roundtable. Is there anything you'd like to share about that or just overall how you're enjoying your new role?
I would say, having been the subject of some pretty contentious Capitol Hill hearings, this was beautiful because everybody was on the same side. Nutrition, good nutrition, is not a political issue. We all want that for not only our children, but for all of our citizens. And it can be done in a cordial and reasonable way. And that's the way the hearing was. And I hope they will continue to be that way as we fight to use the government and the government resources in a way that is actually beneficial to the people.
I love that. All right, just a couple more questions. I know we are short on time. I'd love to talk about the Dietary Guidelines for Americans. The new DGAs are expected in January. Obviously, we're looking forward to them here at the Produce Mom and hoping that there's an emphasis on a diet that is rich in fruits and vegetables as a top priority.
Without giving away too much, I will tell you that is definitely an essential part of it. We want people to be happy with the food, not only from a nutritional standpoint, but also from a taste standpoint.
Right.
We're interested in helping people find things that are delectable and delicious, and that would be very helpful to the children. And we've looked at the things that have been in the past. I don't want to demonize anybody from the past, but we've learned a lot more since some of the original food pyramids and things of that nature were put up. And we're going to use the knowledge that has been gained from that, as well as new knowledge, to put forth the kind of program that will ensure healthy diets. Because if you don't have a healthy diet, you got more diabetes, obesity, almost every organ system is affected for children, brain development. So we're doing ourselves a favor by strengthening our families, our communities, and our nation.
Yeah, absolutely. In closing, something that we say often here at the Produce Moms podcast as we talk to various stakeholders, whether they're farmers, other public officials such as yourself, or even moms, we are always trying to spread the message and the understanding that food security is national security. And my time in DC really taught me that. But I was hoping that before we wrap up today's episode, that you could share more about this sentiment and how it's more than a sentiment. This is a truth, and it's a guiding principle for your work at USDA.
There's no question. Every cell in our body requires good nutrition, and your cells are constantly breaking down and being rebuilt. But they're not being rebuilt with the right things if you don't put the right things in there. If it's only sodas and empty calories, yes, you may gain weight and you may look like you're fat and comfortable, but that's not what your body says, and that's not what all the complications that occur say. And one of the reasons that we're having such difficulty with healthcare and the cost is because we have so many people who have problems already. If you eat right, drink plenty of water, exercise, get sleep, and don't put harmful substances in your body, we have a heck of a lot fewer things to fix. And the healthcare costs would decline accordingly.
I love that. Dr. Carson, we really appreciate your time, and certainly we appreciate all your hard work to serve our nation and make America healthy again. So thank you so much for everything that you do. And for closing remarks, I'd like to encourage everyone to stay tuned here at the Produce Moms podcast, as well as to follow along with what Dr. Ben Carson, as well as our USDA Secretary Brooke Rollins and Secretary Kennedy are doing to really reverse the chronic disease epidemic here in America and make everyone in America healthy, especially our children. So with that, Dr. Carson, any closing remarks you might have?
I say, go moms. And remember, as I say to everybody, we are not enemies. Don't let anybody manipulate you into thinking that we are enemies, just because we may have different opinions about things. If two people believe the same thing about everything, one of them isn't necessary. So just learn how to express yourself and stand up for what you believe in a kind and reasonable way.